Thanks for staying up late and welcome to New Mexico Football Friday. And I can't believe it, man. We got one more show after this one.
One more show.
What happened?
Flew by. I don't know. Where were you? I have no idea. Just flew right by.
I know, and it always does. Now, let's take a look at what we're talking about on the show. Of course, we always do that. On the show tonight, we'll have Spirit Stick Champion. Are you holding your breath, Lawrence?
I would say yes, but I can't hold it that long.
Because you know who won. That's why. You little stinker. Coach Speak. And with Coach Speak, you know who we're talking about with that one.
Oh, you know we're going to go 5A. I'm not going to reveal it, though, just yet. Just yet.
Keep everybody in suspense. Previews. But before that, let's start by going over the Mayfield and Cleveland Storm semifinal played Saturday. Players ran out to the field and it got started right away. Keon Hami, the inside handoff to McKay Dunlap, and it was tied at 7 early.
You know, this game was back and forth the entire way.
And then here's your man here, Kavika Johnson, calling his own number, and you know that went 50+. Mayfield would hold on to win that game 34-33 and return to the championship for the first time since 2010. Now the question is, who will hold the blue trophy in Class 5A? Mayfield and Las Cruces playing for it against one another for the first time since 2002.
Yeah, you know, and we remember how the regular season meeting went between these two schools. Mayfield winning 28-20. In fact, it was the only loss for Las Cruces this season.
Yeah, both teams with only one loss all season. Volcano Vista gave Mayfield their only blemish. Now, let's take a look at their first meeting, Las Cruces and Mayfield. And you remember this game, right?
This is a good one. I wish we could have gone down
Nice
there. Look at that crowd. Unbelievable.
Teams come out, championship atmosphere even then. Look at that.
That's not too bad, you know. I think they had at least 15,000 there, at least.
Yeah, when David Stuckey, he got it going, put Mayfield up 7-0.
This is always going to be a back and forth game because it's that rival feel to it. You know, battle for Las Cruces for both schools.
Yeah, J.J. Granados tying up the game. And then by the second quarter, it was Cameron Miller with the 41-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Bishop, and that put Mayfield up. No, that put Las Cruces up. That's correction there, 13-7. Still in the second quarter, and it was Philip Eli with the 2-yard run, and it made it interesting because they made the PAT, and Mayfield would lead 14-13.
You know, Johnson's been doing this all season long. He's a good guy that can throw the ball, but he can also run too.
All right, then Cruces getting it started again. That would be coming around the end. Granados, he had, 3 touchdowns in that game or something like that?
Yeah, and, you know, this is the game against Sandia that happened a couple of weeks ago. And you know, Cruces can just do it through the air, on the ground. You name it, they can do it.
Yeah, speaking of Cruces playing Sandia, we stopped by and talked to Mayfield and Cruces, tried to talk to Mayfield, but we did get in touch with Coach Jim Miller of Las Cruces right before his matchup with Mayfield. Let's hear what he had to say about tomorrow's championship.
We've been playing real well these last 2 games in the playoffs. You know, Mayfield stymied us a little bit in that district championship. We didn't get much rhythm offensively, so we definitely can't let that happen again.
I mean, we got to spread it out. Everybody's huge. We're not a one-man team, as you can see throughout the whole year. Everybody's got to work. We all got to do what we do.
Sam Denmark speaking in this game with the 1 p.m. start tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, a 4 seed versus a 2 seed, but when it comes to the seeding, we all know that Mayfield and Cruces are both 1 and 2.
Yeah, so, who saw that coming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at the past 11 years of state championships in Class 5A. And look at the dominance by the South. And we're talking about Las Cruces Bulldawgs having won 2 state titles in the past 10 years. Head coach Jim Miller looking for his 6th ring.
Yeah, you know, and how about the Mayfield Trojans, though? The Trojans have won 4. Head coach Michael Bradley hopes to win his 5th state title at the helm. 4 teams from the north have won the big game. Last year, Sandia fell to the Bulldogs.
All right. Okay, Lawrence, now when you talk about 5A Player of the Year, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a few candidates.
Well, the list just kind of goes on and on. You know, first off, I would say Valley quarterback Bo Coleman. He did tremendous things for the Vikings.
For the state, yep.
Absolutely. Las Cruces running back J.J. Granados. He was averaging 3 touchdowns per game. And then you have quarterback Kavika Johnson, and he's doing big things for Mayfield. And how about the reigning champ, though? Your boy.
From our show.
Your boy, Kamal Cass.
Yeah, Kamal Cass, over 2,000 yards. Huh?
Over 2,000 yards, why not?
That's a good class that we will have to sort out by next week. Now, when thinking of Coach of the Year, I'm thinking Valleys and Enrico Marcelli, Jim Miller of Las Cruces, Mike Bradley of Mayfield, Heath Ridenauer of Cleveland, and Rod Williams of Cibola, of course.
Yeah, you know, and what a turnaround season for the Cougars. You know, 1 win the season before Williams arrived, and he gets them to 7.
Yeah, you know what? And he talked about doing things right, the right way. You know, even something as simple as wearing suits on a game day and stuff like that. And you, being a former player like myself, know that discipline is a big deal when you're playing that game.
Well, you have to have the right mentality, and they're trying to do big things there, and it's a very good turnaround for that program.
Well, we caught up with Coach Williams to talk about the season earlier in the week. So, Coach, did you see this type of season coming?
I really did. I felt like coming in, looking at those guys, what we had there, we had the ability to. It was just, could we put it together with all those guys and get them to play together and be a team? And fortunately, the players, the coaches, I think the community started to buy into what we were trying to teach.
Yeah, and you, Lawrence, you went to a lot of their games, so.
Yeah, I guess just you guys had one win the year before, and then you have 7 this year, man. You guys really put it together. Talk about what was the team like buying in to what you were trying to get them to do?
Well, the biggest thing that helped us was that we had a senior group that was real hungry. I mean, they had success in the past in their younger years, and so they were willing to just kind of buy into whatever I was telling them, and so they made it a lot easier to sell the juniors and the sophomores, and they just did everything we asked. And so we knew at that point, because they were buying in, that we could have a successful season.
What do you do to build on that? You have that building block there. You step into a program that needed some work, and right away you guys have some success. What do you do to build on it?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, we've been sitting down since the season ended, and we've been talking about all the things that we wish we would have did, and some of the good things we did. But I've been telling people, I really think that we have about 65% of what I envision the program being. We're about 65% there, and we got about 35%. If we could get it there, we can continue to be successful. And so I think just we laid the foundation, continue to build on everything. The offense, the defense. The right now we're really working on the community within Cibola, just trying to get the kids to love Cibola High School, and not only the players but the whole school. And it's a good environment, and we just want to keep building on that.
What was that pride factor like this year? Because a lot of those kids, you guys played from behind a couple of different times, and I think teams that have the heart, they're the ones that end up coming out with the W at the end. You guys seem to always put it together at the end.
Yeah, well, that was something that when we were in those situations, I felt like I had been there before, where I was previously, and I think the kids really looked to see how are the coaches going to react in this situation, and we kind of just told them, you can divide and split and go your separate ways, or we can pull together. We're going to be fine, and they trusted it and believed it, and we were able to do that. And as far as the pride factor, they just, again, these guys started to have a lot of pride. A lot of the fans started to come out. I mean, that's the one thing we keep hearing about is just the spirit and the fans, and the energy was completely different. And so sometimes, new coaches come in and they just need to pump some different energy into the place, and that's what we were able to do.
Well, you were able to do it, and now you know what kind of talk comes up, Coach of the Year. And when you hear that, when you hear that, I mean, because we got to pick a Coach of the Year for our show too. So when you hear that, do you get nervous or oh, take the spotlight off me? I don't want.
Yeah, I kind of do. It's kind of one of those things where I start thinking, okay, well, if it's Coach of the Year, what does that really mean? What that means is that your players and your community and your coaches really did everything they were asked of, and they bought into it. And you can't have Coaches of the Year without good people around you. So I really just think of all the jobs they did. Some of them I felt like worked harder than me, because they wanted the program to be so well, and I was caught up in so many different things. And so that just means that the community, the coaches, and the players did what they were supposed to, and that's good for the school.
And I guess, how about your off-season plans? You have a bunch now that's hungry, because you never want to lose in the playoffs, and you guys made it deep into the playoffs. But I guess just what's the off-season program going to be like?
The off-season program, we're going to continue to build on what we were doing last off-season. I came in February, and I was a little bit behind. But, we really want to have a strong off-season with our weightlifting program, our community outreach, internally, externally. We're just going to continue, like I said, at 65%. If we can continue to build on that, I think it would be really good. And I really want to get with the younger kids that kind of, missed out on some of the weightlifting and different things that we're not able to do their freshman year. And we want to have a strong off-season with them. And we're looking forward to it. So we're ready to go already.
A great season for you, Coach, and we can't let you get out of here without asking you who's going to win it all. There's 2 teams left. Mayfield lost Cruces Who's going to win it all?
Both great programs. It seems to come down to them every year. But I just, I look at Cruces and what they've been doing in the playoffs, and they're just so physical, and they believe in what they do, and they're coached well, and both sides are. And I got friends at Mayfield that coach, and I really respect all those programs. But I just think Cruces is just a little bit, right now it seems like the spotlight's on them, and it's their year.
Coach is going to have to run for office after that, man. You saw he broke it down. He didn't want to get anybody riled up, and then he just finally slipped Cruces in there at the end.
No line drawn in the sand at all with that man. It's okay, though.
By the way, the little guy running back in the background there, Coach's son.
His little 4-year-old, I know.
Yeah.
He's hanging out, too.
Yeah. Well, we need to take a break. More Football Friday is on the way. Class Quad A is also crowning a champion in Farmington tomorrow. So who do you got, Scorpions or Rockets? We'll talk about it when we come back. But first, check out a collage of our cheerleaders of the week.